Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are brand new, hi and welcome. My name is Alyssa and this is Divine Beauty Tarot. On my channel, I enjoy making tarot pick-a-card readings like this one. So if you happen to enjoy today's video, I ask that you please go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. Definitely hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, all of that good stuff. And yeah, definitely be a part of this growing fam. So we have a fun video for you today. This is going to be who are your animal spirit guides and how are they currently helping you right now? So this is actually going to be a quick pick a card reading, which is why we have 5 piles here today. So we have pile number 1 over here with the green adventurine. Pile number 2 with some rose quartz. Pile number 3 with yellow jade. Pile number 4 with amethyst. And pile number 5 with lapis lazuli. So go ahead and take a moment if you need to pause the video, meditate on which pile you're feeling most drawn to. Once you have made your selection, I will post the timestamps in the description box so you can go ahead and fast forward to your reading, okay? So I'm really excited about this pick a card for you guys. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time and I'm really excited I have had the time to do it now. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with group number 1. Hi, group 1. So if you selected the green adventurine crystal, then this is your reading. So we're going to go ahead and lay out all of your cards and we're going to see who your spirit animal guides are and how they're currently helping you, okay? So the first one that we have is the ant spirit. So this says time to collaborate. The next one that we have is the rabbit. And for your tarot card, we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So group 1. So this is pretty interesting. So you have both the ant spirit and the rabbit spirit helping you out during this time right now. So what's interesting about the ant spirit is that this is all about working together, finding a way to work with others around you towards a common goal. Oftentimes this can even represent like needing to either reach out for support or basically finding a way to reach whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, but doing so with others' help. Like basically this is a time where you're not going to be doing this 100% alone. So if you're somebody who tends to like to do that normally, right now, depending on your current situation, it might be, the ant spirit might be calling for you to work with others in order to, get out of this current situation. Okay. Now what's interesting as well is the fact that with the fact that you have the 5 of Pentacles, this kind of gives us a little bit more insight as to what it is that you're currently dealing with. Okay. So with this regard, with the fact that we have here the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, this can mean that you have been going through a bit of a hardship financially, and possibly for maybe some time, but now you're at the point where you're starting to kind of rebuild your finances, or you're starting to kind of get back on track, so to speak. Okay. Now how your animal spirit guides have been helping you with this is perhaps you've either reached out to others for assistance, whether this is through family, through friends, you know, or somebody that you can rely on for guidance to kind of help you get out of the situation, or to kind of help you get back on track, so to speak. Okay. When the 5 of Pentacles is in the upright, this usually means that, you know, there is usually a sense of loss or financial hardship. And oftentimes it calls for reaching out to others or not being afraid to ask for assistance. It doesn't necessarily mean like a handout. It just means like, you know, whether you need guidance or, just kind of help in pointing you in the right direction, you know, that kind of a thing. So especially if you're not somebody who tends to feel comfortable asking for money or things of that nature, there are other ways in which you can ask for assistance that can help you kind of turn things around for you in your life, okay? And I think that's where the animal spirit here has come into play for you, in the sense of like coming together to collaborate on an idea or a way to kind of get yourself out of this situation. Okay. Now we also do have the rabbit spirit. And one thing that I love about the rabbit is basically by the animal spirit, they're considered somebody who's more of like a problem solver, somebody who's a good listener. They're also very sensitive creatures, okay? And in this regard, because of the situation that you could have been dealing with, the rabbit spirit could be kind of honing in on a little bit more so of that feeling of being overwhelmed, or feeling like, you know, am I going to get myself out of this? So what's interesting is that you have one animal spirit trying to kind of encourage you to get yourself out of the situation by working with other people. But then you have the rabbit spirit who, even though, you know, they have these good qualities of, you know, being rational thinkers, it's almost like when they're in a state of unfamiliarity, or they're just kind of scared, they tend to just kind of like be frozen, and they kind of be like, you know, what do I do? Do I just stand here? Do I move? What do I do? So there's definitely a lot of like second guessing kind of coming into play here. So if you've been feeling that way, you know, that could very well be the rabbit spirit kind of coming into play. But again, this is just kind of a quick overview as to your current situation, how the animal spirit of the rabbit and the ant is kind of having an impact on your life currently. So, again, as I mentioned, like, you know, with the rabbit, even though they are problem solvers and they are, you know, really good listeners by nature, I feel like when you're sort of out of sorts, when you're out of balance, that's when your kind of anxiety tends to kick up a little bit. And with the ant spirit, I think this is really important, why you have two very contrasting ones, because ant spirit is just trying to remind you, hey, let's pick up the pieces. Let's put this back together. You know, we're not going to let our fears get the best of us, even though this might have been a scary situation for some of you, having had lost maybe some things. Maybe you've lost your job, maybe you've lost your home, you know, or just an investment in which you were hoping was going to be very beneficial. You know, that can be very scary to many right off the bat. But what the ant spirit is just trying to remind you is that, you know, you can find a way to get yourself back on track from this situation. Okay. You don't have to live in fear. You don't have to allow yourself to, you know, worry about the negativity of it. And I feel like right now you guys are on the opposite end. You know, you're coming back on track. You're starting to maybe reach out to close friends or family for assistance, and they're the ones that are kind of helping you get your feet back on, like I said, back on track and everything. So group one, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if you feel like this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to move on to group number two. Hi, group two. So if you selected the rose quartz crystal, then this is your reading. So we're going to see what animal spirits you have guiding you currently. So the first one that we have is the squirrel spirit. This says, believe in yourself. Love that. The next one that we have is the otter. Love the otter. That's so cute. And then for your tarot card, we have the 5 of Wands. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So I'm going to start here with your tarot card. So you have the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands is all about feeling like you're having to kind of like compete with others in the moment, whether this is at work, with your circle of friends. Oftentimes I usually equate it with work, just because it's usually like a lot of people like working towards like the same outcome, but it's like they're kind of competing with one another to be noticed for their work or for their effort. So that's usually what I equate it with. It doesn't always have to be, but for me, you know, it just tends to make a little bit more sense in that regard. But with the Five of Wands, this might just feel like you're having to almost like prove something to someone, or having to just really like fighting to be noticed, so to speak. And this is really interesting because you have the Squirrel Spirit that says, believe in yourself. So if you've been having any doubt recently because those around you might be, you know, on the outside, it looks like that they're improving and that they're leveling up, or, you know, they seemingly have more than what you have, or things of that nature. This is, I feel like your animal spirits are really trying to remind you, like, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe and know your worth. Okay. Even though it is a tough world out there, and oftentimes we really do kind of have to like fight to be seen, because there's so many people in this world, and so many people have, you know, beautiful gifts that, you know, they want to share with the world. And sadly, not everyone gets chosen, or not everyone gets highlighted, you know, with what, you know, gift they have. But that doesn't mean that they should stop doing what it is that they're good at, or stopping what it is that they have to share with others, you know? So I feel like in this regard, that's kind of like what your Squirrel Spirit is more so trying to emphasize to you, you know, with this, you know, like, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt what you are capable of. Especially because it seems like you are just as good, if not better, than those around you, but you have to kind of remember that. Now, I will also say, in saying that, with the Five of Wands, you do want to kind of be cautious as well, okay? Because like, you don't want to come across like you are better than other people, or that you're being arrogant in a way. So like, I know it's a very fine line, because yes, you should be able to stand your own and, you know, show the world like who you truly are, but you don't want to do it in a way that's going to lessen somebody else, or put them down, or just kind of the whole mindset of like, I'm going to step on as many people as I can to get to where I need to go. You don't want to do that. Okay. So that's kind of like the emphasis that I was really trying to get to, with that regard. Okay. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. You know, but I feel like more so this is just kind of like reminding you as to like who you truly are, and not giving up. Okay. Now, what I love about the Otter's card here, the Animal Spirit, is the fact that this really represents pure joy. This has a sense of playfulness to them, because otters are naturally very playful creatures, okay? This energy, I feel like, is really needed, especially during this time, for those of you who might be experiencing any self-doubt, or you're struggling, you feel like there's a sense of having to prove yourself, okay? The Otter Spirit is really kind of like, almost like checking you in a way of like, hey, just be content with who you are. Be happy with what you have. Be happy with where you're at, okay? You know, there's a sense of like, you know, vitality for life itself. So it's like, you know, they don't want you to necessarily worry or have any self-doubt or skepticism. Instead, you know, just kind of think of like what it would be like if you lived in the ideal, you know, that mentality of everything's going to be okay. I've got this. I believe in myself. Okay. I'm good at this. I know I can do it. And then you just simply enjoy life. Okay. That's really where your Otter Spirit and your Squirrel Spirit animal cards are really trying to emphasize during this time. So this is how they're trying to help you. They're trying to kind of transport any negativity, any self-doubt that you might be carrying with you from this situation into something that's going to better serve you. Okay. So Group 2, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. I know this was like a really quick reading, but I was only doing 3 cards for everybody. So if you felt that this made sense, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and consider subscribing to this channel. I would love to have you a part of this family. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move on to group number 3. Hi group 3, so if you selected the yellow jade crystal, then this is going to be your reading. So we're going to go ahead and dive in and see what animal spirits you have that are currently helping you, guiding you right now. So the first card that we have is the Rhino Spirit. Overcome any obstacle. Love that. I just love the way the imagery of these cards are so beautiful. All right, the next one that we have is the Vulture. Interesting. Okay, and then we have the King of Cups for your tarot card. Okay. So what is your Rhino Spirit and your Vulture card trying to tell you right now? Okay. Okay, so let's kind of start here with your King of Cups. So what's interesting about the fact that you guys have this as how your animal spirit guides are helping you during this time is the King of Cups represents someone who is very in tune with their emotions. Someone who is very kind-hearted, but might kind of come off as like having a little bit of a rough exterior. But really on the inside, they're very like emotional, very secure. Somebody who is very creative, very passionate, kind of goes after what he or she wants with that kind of like being at the forefront, okay? Now, the King of Cups really is somebody who gains their wisdom from the experiences that they've gone through. So this is why it's almost like, you know, the way that they're able to kind of keep their composure, maybe even during tough times, it's almost like they're able to kind of keep their emotions in check, if you will, is because they've been through a lot. You know, it's really not without saying, you know, like there's somebody who has kind of just been through the ups and downs, you know, but it's almost like it was for the better. Like they've learned these things, and it's very fitting the fact that you have the Rhino Spirit here, because this is talking about overcoming any obstacle. So you being somebody who has probably have any type of obstacle being thrown your way, you've had it. I mean, you're somebody who it's almost like, what's next, you know? And even though some are definitely harder than others, one thing that definitely remains pure about you is the fact that you have found a way to take those situations and turn them into a positive, or turn them into a way in which you learn from it, okay? And that's what's really great about how the Rhino Spirit plays a part in your life and how they assist you, okay? Now, the Vulture card is interesting because oftentimes anybody thinks of a vulture or sees one, there's usually a lot of negative connotations associated with it. Now, in this Oracle deck in particular, one of the things that I love about the description that they give is that they are known as guardians and purifiers. So they are... and what they mean by that is that they're essential for rebalance, because they do the dirty work, meaning like they eat obviously the roadkill. They actually help out the ecosystem. So they do things that a lot of other people wouldn't necessarily do, meaning like they'll clean up the mess that nobody else wants to deal with. And so you might find that you tend to be that way, which is why you've had, you know, a lot of experience under your belt, because you've had to do the dirty work, so to speak, the things that nobody else probably would have been able to do or would want to do. But because you're so good at kind of like getting things back into balance or finding a way to restore order, if you will, that's where the Vulture spirit animal kind of comes into play, because it kind of really, I feel like both of these cards really speak to like who you are just in general. Whereas like the past two groups that we've had, I feel like the animal spirits kind of came up because those people, you know, those groups were going through certain situations. Whereas like you, I feel like are the King of Cups. Like this is just who you are in nature. So these two cards kind of like really speak more so to like your personality and speak to like how you are as a person. And I feel like you connect with them more on a deeper level than you might realize. So I feel like this is very powerful for you guys, group 3. So definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. That was your reading. I know this is very quick, but like I said, we just wanted to see who your animal spirits were and like how they're helping you in this moment. And so yeah, if you guys want to get more info or kind of like go a little bit more in depth with the Animal Spirit Oracle cards, definitely let me know in the comment section, and I will make a more lengthier video in the future. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to go ahead and move on to group number 4. Hi, group 4. So if you selected the amethyst crystal, whoops, which I just dropped, then this is your reading. Although let me grab that real fast. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so got your amethyst there. So we're going to go ahead and see which animal spirit or spirits are with you guys right now and why. So we have the spider spirit. Make your dreams real. I love that card. Makes me think of Halloween. The next one that we have is the cheetah. And for your tarot card, we have the 5 of Cups. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and just dive right in. So you guys have the spider spirit and the cheetah. So very interesting pairing here. So the cheetah is usually considered it's more associated with the fire element. So this kind of speaks more so to like your creativity, your passions, you know, definitely very forward movement energy. So this is very much like you going after like your dreams, your passions here, okay? And it's very interesting that we have that paired with the spider spirit, because this literally says make your dreams real. So the spider spirit encourages you to go after the dreams in which you set forth, you know, into the universe. So like this, I kind of think of like manifestation, because a spider can, you know, weave their webs so effortlessly. You know, it's almost like, it makes me think of like how we establish our goals, how we establish what it is that we want to do. So with this regard, I feel like both of them are really here because they're trying to help you realize that you have what it takes to go after your passions, to go after what it is that you want. But currently you might be feeling a little without, okay? Now, the reason why I say that is because the 5 of Cups usually deals with our emotions in the sense of feeling like, woe is me. And I don't want to put that in necessarily a negative way. It's just more of like feeling like, why is this happening? Now, it might be, you know, depending on your situation, and it might be that things are not panning out the way that you were hoping that they would, which is why, like, I love using the imagery in any of the 5 of Cups, because if you notice, there are 5 cups total, but 3 have spilled, but 2 are still standing. So instead of focusing on the 2 that the person still has left, they focus on the fact that they've spilled 3 of their cups. So that's where, you know, the main focus tends to be, and then they lose sight as to what they were initially trying to work towards when they had all 5 originally filled, okay? So what your animal spirit guides are trying to tell you or trying to help you with during this time is that they're trying to get you to realize like, hey, you still have other dreams that you can go after, or you still have other possibilities or other avenues in which you can explore to achieve your dream or to achieve your goal, okay? But if you sit there and you wallow in what didn't pan out instead of looking at your other options, then that's when you're going to miss or lose sight of these other opportunities that were available to you, okay? Now, one thing I do want to point out with the Spider Spirit Oracle here is the fact that this talks about, obviously, as we mentioned, not only just your manifestations and your dreams, but this also talks about this being like a good time for you to go after your creative endeavors, okay? Like, don't be afraid to, you know, explore those options. Like we've been talking about, like, this isn't a time for you to sit still. This is a time to take action. That's why you have the cheetah here, because this is the forward movement. This is, you know, the time is now, you know, so to speak. So if you're feeling stuck creatively, or if you're feeling stuck because something didn't pan out the way that you had hoped it would, you might need to just kind of give yourself a moment to kind of regroup and think about what other options that you do have, or look at your other creative endeavors and pursue those instead, okay? So don't be afraid to just, take those leaps of faith, especially if, the first couple times didn't necessarily work out. There's probably a reason why they didn't, okay? This is because you have other options available to you that are more likely going to be successful, okay? So group 4, that was your reading. I know this was very quick, simple, and easy, but like I said, I definitely wanted to do this fun little video just so that you guys can kind of see who your animal spirit guides are and how they are trying to help you during this time. If you guys want more information on your animal spirit guides, I'm definitely looking into doing a more in-depth video later on. So if that is something you guys are interested in, definitely let me know in the comment section below and I will do my best to get that out for you guys, okay? I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to move on to our last and final group. Hello, group 5. So if you selected the lapis lazuli crystal, then this is your reading. So we're going to see who are your animal spirit guides and how are they helping you right now. So let's start off with your first one. The first one that we have is your grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. Okay, so we've got the grasshopper. Next one that we have is the bee. Love this. Got some insect vibes. And then your tarot card that we have is the 2 of Cups. Interesting. Okay, so how are these helping you? So group 5. So this is really, really interesting. So you guys have the 2 of Cups. Right off the bat, I feel like this is dealing with a relationship or a connection partnership here. The 2 of Cups typically does deal with a connection, a sense of unity. So oftentimes it is very heavily associated with a relationship. This could be a new relationship or one in which that has been established already. But for some of you, this I feel like is very much a new relationship. And the reason why I say that is because we have the grasshopper spirit here telling you to take a leap of faith, okay? So what I love about this is that this, for many of you, you might be feeling, a little hesitant here about whether or not you should or shouldn't, start something new. For many of you, you might have gone through, a bad breakup, gone through something that, didn't obviously pan out the way that you were hoping. You might be somebody who has gone through like a string of bad luck, but this is your time, I feel like, where your spirit guides are trying to tell you, hey, don't be afraid to take a little bit of a faith, leap of faith here, because it seems like that this is going to lead you into a happy outcome, okay? Now, I do want to talk about the bee animal spirit here, as I feel like the bee is really kind of more so talking about how you are as a person, in the sense of like just your overall personality. Meaning like you may be somebody who's just very, hardworking, somebody who just by nature is very sensitive, meaning like not in a bad way, but just that you're very in touch with your feelings, okay? And this could be why there is that sense of hesitation, why you might be kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is a good idea, just because, you tend to be someone who loves with all of their heart. Like your heart, you wear your heart on your sleeve, I feel like. And this is why, based on past events, you now could be at a point where you're just very hesitant about a new relationship, or, starting something new, or even, taking the next step in a relationship. There's always, I feel like, going to be these little hesitations that tend to come up with you, just based on what you've dealt with in the past. Doesn't mean anything negative on your part. It's just because of what you've gone through, okay? But what I love the fact about your grasshopper spirit is that this is really just trying to tell you, like, hey, don't be afraid, don't allow your ego to get in the way. Like, the ego really deals with our sense of fear as well, and it can kind of trick us into, this mindset that, oh no, nothing's going to work out, or no, this is a bad idea, all of that. So realistically, this is just trying to tell you, like, don't listen to that side. Like, instead, have a little bit of faith, trust your gut, trust your instincts. You're a very intuitive person. So trust in that faith, and excuse me. Oh, I don't know what happened there. And all will be okay. Okay. So I really am excited for you guys in this regard, because I feel like this is definitely going to be a good outcome here. As I mentioned, like with that Two of Cups, like that Two of Cups is just like, how can you not be excited? Like, it's definitely like this union, this coming together sense. So I think once you kind of get, you know, over that fear or over that hesitation, then that's when things are going to kind of just click, and it's just going to become that much easier to step towards, you know, this new relationship or this new level in your relationship. Okay. Because for some of you, you guys might be in a relationship already, and, you know, things might be going great. You might just be like, you know, I'm content with the way things are. But there might be this possibility of moving in together, or getting engaged, or starting a family. So that's a different part, obviously, of the relationship. That's something new. So some of you might be second guessing or wondering if it is a good idea, if you should or you shouldn't. Obviously, always trust your intuition, trust your instincts. But how your animal spirit guides are trying to help you during this time is they're just trying to remind you that, like, you have what it takes. That just have a little bit of faith. Things are going to, you know, work out in your favor. Okay. And, you know, just allow what will. Okay, so group number 5, that was your reading. I know that this was a very quick general reading, but obviously I wanted to really focus on who your animal spirit guides were and how it was that they were helping you guys during this time. So I'm thinking of maybe doing a more in-depth animal spirit reading a little bit later, but if you guys want to see that, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get that out for you guys ASAP. Otherwise, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the comments, the likes, the subscriptions, all of that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Truly appreciate it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.